other things are being emphasised in churches today, and I think they take us from the focal point, the whole foundation for our Christianity, which is the blood and the cross.
And the blood has never lost its power. No, never, no.
I revere very much those people who will stand up for what they believe in, even to the point of giving their lives for it. This is a song I particularly wanted to include because I think the words are so valuable. When you really understand what the words are saying, like it's shame and reproach, I'll gladly bear. These are words that are very easy to say, but how do you put that into practice? I go into the open air, you see, and sometimes I'm ridiculed. Sometimes I've been pushed around and drunk men have stood up and tried to interfere. And I feel at those times that I am taking the shame and reproach. But I'm glad that I've been given those opportunities. It's very beautiful the way she signs, and I think even a deaf person will appreciate the emotion by the way she's doing this signing.
I've heard of a man named Jesus, of how on a cross he died.
There's a cost to being a Christian, and unfortunately I feel as though it's only the people in the persecuted countries that are actually taking up their cross to become Christians. We don't seem to have much cost over in our Western society.
And Jesus cried with a loud voice and gave up the ghost.
Well, I've learned a lot from being a mother, and I think that's the closest you can get to understanding how God must feel towards his creation, a mother or a father. The instincts that welled up in me, they must be God-given, because they weren't natural. I didn't want children. But when I brought my child home, when he was only 8 days old, I remember looking at him, and that verse of scripture that always seemed an old hackneyed verse because it was used so regularly, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believes on him should not perish but have everlasting life. I was just looking at my child, and this phrase, this verse was going through my mind, and suddenly I thought, for God so loved the world that he gave his only Son. I mean, the way I felt about my child, my first child, it was incredible. And I couldn't imagine how God must have felt to give his only child for a world that rejected him, that hated him, that scorned him. I don't know how God did that. I'm quite concerned about the shift of emphasis that's taught in the churches today. I'm sure that when Jesus was here 2,000 years ago, trying to teach people what God wanted, then he could have easily taught what's being taught now, you know, prosperity and the fact that worship is the way to God. But he didn't teach those things. Putting the church right, he was teaching them that it was the lifestyle, the Beatitudes. There's a cost to being a Christian.
Be moved, be gripped, be inspired, be challenged by a unique 60-minute music video experience. Joanna, the Blood and the Cross.